is going on, everybody? This is Bronco Juggalo, and it is again Slashback Saturday. Today's Slashback theme is unique locations or unique environments. Different place to have a slasher movie in. And I chose the 2001 film The Barber, starring Malcolm McDowell and directed by Michael Bafaro. Now, what makes this one so unique is it takes place in Alaska. A very snowed in Alaska in the middle of winter during the big nighttime. You know, when it's like night for like a month or so. Yeah, that's when this takes place. It's nighttime there, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And during that time, a killer decides to go wild, which sets off an investigation that he hoped wouldn't happen when one of his bodies is found that he hoped wouldn't be found till spring, when he planned on being long gone. This movie also stars Jeremy Ratchford as our chief of police. This movie actually got nominated for 9 Canadian Film Association awards, which is pretty cool. It is basically a Canadian film. It was shot and filmed in Canada, and it was shot with mostly a Canadian cast. This film kind of blends the horror genre with the slasher subgenre with thriller and detective subgenre stylings. I got some cons that I'm going to get through real quick. The first one is the Redneck Coalition. In this movie, a group of rednecks that, yes, there are rednecks in Alaska. It's weird, but I guess they're everywhere. A group of rednecks decide that they want to get their chief fired because they found out that the chief had been sleeping with one of the victims. And they just don't feel like he's up to snuff, even though it's him that figures everything out. And they're just really annoying, and they're really stereotypical, and they really get on my nerves. Number 2 for me is there could have been more kills. There is actually only 4 kills in the movie, or I should say 4 deaths. One of them is done prior to the movie starting. Another one we don't get to see because it cuts out and fades to black. A second one we do get to see, and the gore on that's pretty decent. But it's not done by the killer, it's done by somebody else. And the last one, we only get to see the after effects of what's left when the killer's done. And I think this film could have served with a little more kills, leaned a little heavier on the slasher genre. Something I just talked about is there are no on-screen kills from the killer, which is something I think in some films doesn't hurt, but in this one I think it would have helped a lot more. The only on-screen kill we get is by somebody else. So guys, I do really enjoy the story on this one. I also really enjoy the journey that we are taking into the psyche, not just of our killer, but of people that are trying to cope with an extreme situation as it is with it being dark all the time and them not really ever even knowing what time it is. It's Christmas Day and it's about noon and it's pitch black outside. You know, it's that kind of thing that can really fuck with your head. They're reading books on how not to be depressed. They're wearing little light hats, you know, all kinds of things to do to keep from being depressed in this winter. I love the environment. Like I said, we were just talking about it a little bit, but I love the environment of a perpetually dark, snowy winter. Now, I don't want to say Wonderland because it's just wintry and it's very foreboding and it's just an extremely harsh environment. And I just think it's a great place for a slasher film. Something that this movie does that we don't really get in many films is we get a narration throughout the movie by the killer, which I thought was a fascinating and unique way of telling the story. I really did enjoy that a lot, guys. Honestly, I really did like the movie The Barber. There wasn't a lot more that I wanted to talk about with it. And even though I've got 3 pros and 3 cons, so it might seem that I'm right in the middle on this, I did really enjoy the film. It is a good movie. So I definitely suggest it. Go and check out The Barber from 2001. It's a good, fun movie. This is Bronco Juggalo saying check out everybody else doing Slashback Saturday, especially Joe, the horror man who created the challenge. He's my super slash brother, and I fucking love him. This is Bronco Juggalo saying go and buy Joe's shirt on the Teespring store at Bronco Juggalo's Teespring store, which is called the House of Horrors. And join us every Friday night for the Super Slash Brothers. Peace.
Somebody should've told you I'm the wrong one. All fun and games until you see me with a shotgun. Homie, I'm the